Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our information session on Pocket Lobbyist Government Relations 101 Cohort Program. This is an innovative new cohort program that we have launched, which starts on February 16th, and we're really excited to share some more details if you've been thinking about joining and want to know a bit more. So for those of you who are not familiar with Pocket Lobbyist, we are a small business based in Calgary, Alberta, that started back in 2022 with a mission of democratizing access to government relations and public policy materials, embracing technology to do so, and then in so doing, increasing awareness on how government and politics works so that we can improve the overall political process through lobbying, which is a very normal and common activity that many organizations are engaged in with the government. So we have a few different offerings that we provide for folks that are in our community. We have a free weekly newsletter that's sent on Thursday mornings. If you're watching the stream, you're probably already signed up for that. We also have a membership, which allows members to have access to our materials on our portal, which include hundreds of biographies, briefing notes, trackers, templates, and tools that you would use as a lobbyist to work with the government. And our newest offering, which I'm excited to talk about today, is Cohorts, which is a course cohort-based live program for participants to help them with understanding and developing skills to effectively lobby in Alberta. So today I'm going to talk a bit about the problem that we're solving with this innovative new offering, as well as some of the challenges inherent in that problem and why you may recognize lobbying in one way or another. We have a solution for this problem and an amazing offer for you at the end of this webinar that we hope you'll take advantage of. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Melissa Caouette. I am the founder of Pocket Lobbyist. I started it in 2022 after realizing that lobbying, a profession that I've been involved in for almost a decade in Alberta, is seen by many people as not the same as other important corporate functions like marketing or finance or accounting or sales. And I really wanted to create a program and a portal that would empower people to see lobbying and government relations and public policy risk as a business risk, just like any others that are inherent in running an organization or a business. One of the main reasons why we wanted to start Pocket Lobbyist, including the membership and this new cohort program, is that we feel like nobody understands how politics and governments work. Now, that's not the fault of any one individual. There's any number of reasons for that, including whether or not we learn enough about it in school, whether it's taught in business in university, or just generally people having involvement in political systems to understand the environment. And so because of this, there is a big gap between people who have worked in and around government and politics and people who may be in the business, association, nonprofit, or startup community that want to understand it, but just don't understand why. As we've said, there's a lot of institutional knowledge, and there's also just a ton happening all of the time in this space. If you watch the news or are on X or any other social media platform that allows news, you will see and understand that there is too much going on at any given time to feel like you're on top of everything, especially if you don't understand the nuances of those news stories and public policy changes. We also just noticed that a lot of people, because they don't understand this space, they rely strictly on outsourcing to lobbyists to accomplish their government relations and public policy goals. Now, we are lobbyists at Pocket Lobbyists, so we have no problem with this, but there is a huge gap in understanding of what your lobbyist should be doing for you and what your priorities and what you're asking your lobbyist to do for you should even be from a strategic concept. We also saw a lot of misconceptions. A lot of people think of lobbying as a very negative and sort of nefarious profession, when in reality, it is not. Of course, with any profession, there are good and bad actors, but in 2024, we really strongly believe that most people involved in this profession are doing it to try and support and empower their clients in the right way. We notice a challenge in not having the requisite political and public policy knowledge, and how that creates uncertainty in business and also bad public policy. So, in order to accurately assess and incorporate political risks, you need to understand them as business risks. And so, understanding the ways in which the government intersects with whatever your core function of your organization is extremely important. It's also important for organizations to invest time and resources into collaborating and developing good public policy. You can be proactive and not just reactive, meaning you shouldn't only go talk to the government when you have a problem, but how do you know if you have a problem if you're not able to anticipate that risk far enough in advance? There are a lot of people who don't think lobbying is a good thing, but in reality, lobbying is defined in most jurisdictions as communicating with a public office holder with an intention to influence, meaning a lot more people probably are lobbyists than they think. We also see a move towards negative conceptions of people who are involved in politics as something that's inherently bad. So high partisanship, when in reality, being political does not necessarily mean that you are also partisan. So our solution and our offering with this innovative new product that we have at Pocket Lobbyist is that we want to empower people to recognize political risks as business risks. So we want to make sure that within your organization, you are elevating government relations to the decision-making table. You are not outsourcing important and consequential public policy decisions to external actors only. In reality, you should be working closely with those folks. And then, as well, just taking ownership and accountability of government decision making. In reality, no one person can tell the government what to do. But of course, if you don't ask, you don't get. And if the government doesn't understand what you want, there is little hope of them being able to provide it for you. So we need to have more people in the business community that understand how government and politics works. And we need to have more organizations that are willing to elevate government relations and public policy risk to those senior decision-making tables, and including those important nuances as part of your broader organizational risk management strategy. So our solution for this is our new offering, our Government Relations 101 cohort. Now, this is a really innovative new offering that we've been working on for quite some time now. We are pulling a small group of folks together in a cohort led by myself over 6 weeks to help understand and deal with political risk as business risk. In this course, we are going to teach you how to anticipate political risk, meaning we are going to teach you in Alberta all of the relevant political history, the context, the systems and institutions of how government and politics work, so you understand this region as a baseline to start engaging with the actors involved here. We're also going to teach you how to interpret political risk. So what does it mean when the government makes a certain decision? How are decision makers' incentives lined up? And how can we perhaps predict what certain actions or future actions could mean for your organization? And then lastly, mitigating political risk. We are going to help you understand how to take action when political risk crosses your organization. And so that could include lobbying, that could include communications efforts, that could include research efforts. There's several different tactics that any organization can use to mitigate political risk. But again, if you're not able to anticipate and interpret it in the first place, those efforts can sometimes be too late. This cohort is for any individual within an organization. So if you're a junior individual that's just entered an organization that is in a highly regulated or high government interfacing industry, developing these skills at the beginning of your career will be a huge difference maker for the people on your team and for your own understanding and ability to contribute to your organization as well. If you're in a mid-level or executive position, you're likely in a role where you need to make these decisions yourself. And if you don't have what you need to do so in an effective, efficient, and accurate manner, that can create long-term problems for you in your organization and can cause you to perhaps spin your wheels when you are trying to make progress on certain issues. And of course, every leader or CEO should have a working understanding of politics and government, just as every CEO is expected to have a working understanding of marketing, sales, finance, human resources. While might not be the person executing these functions within your organization, it is definitely your responsibility as a leader to understand all of these functions and their moving parts so that you can be accountable to your stakeholders, to your employees, to your board, to your shareholders on how you've managed significant risks, including political risk, as part of your organization. We also are creating this course and offering the products that we do on Pocket Lobbyist for organizations of all different sizes in all different sectors. So, political risk, while there are specific public policy issues that affect different sectors differently, the principles are the same. And so the frameworks and the mentality that you use to understand this political risk within your organization, regardless of how big your organization is, or what sector it's in, or whether you're a for-profit, not-for-profit association, whether you're a municipality, anybody who needs to understand political risk will benefit from the tips and tools and education that we're providing in this cohort program. To give you a sense of what the actual program will look like, so it is over 6 weeks. It is delivered every Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. and recordings are available on the portal if you are going to miss one. We are also providing folks with forever access to all of the materials. So if you register for this version of the cohort, future cohorts, as we update and change information, you'll have access to that as well. We're going to start out talking about how political history and how government and politics works, lays the foundation for you to be able to anticipate that political risk. In terms of interpreting political risk, understanding how decision makers and influencers are thinking about political risk internally. And then in terms of execution and mitigating, we will teach you about what exactly lobbying and government relations is and what the function is within your organization, as well as how to develop and execute an effective government relations strategy, whether you're the person leading it or the person supporting it within an organization. We are very excited to offer this cohort program for the investment of $2,500, which is a fraction of what most organizations are paying for lobbyists on a month-to-month basis. And it's a long-term investment that can empower your organization to save a lot of money in the future in terms of political risk that you might not have anticipated coming. So building this functionality within your organization is a great investment for you to make. And you will also have access to me throughout this cohort on topics related to the cohort. So if you have questions or want help on anything, I will also be there to support all participants so that they can get the most out of the 6 live sessions, as well as all of the additional materials that we are including on the cohort, including several different downloads and materials that you can use internally for your own organization. So if you're interested in signing up for this cohort, you need to do so by midnight on February 15th, 2024. If you scan the QR code on the screen right now, it'll take you right to the checkout page and you will be able to claim your spot. We're keeping these cohorts small because we want to make sure that they're valuable for participants. So if you are interested, do make sure that you sign up right away. So thank you so much for attending this quick information session on Government Relations 101. We really hope to see you included in the next cohort. If you have questions, please feel free to email us, or you can check us out on social media or at pocketlobbyist.com, where you can see all of our other offerings and our platform generally. So thank you so much for attending today. We really, really appreciate it. And we hope that we will see you in our next cohort or on our email list or on our membership. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a great day.